Going from a group to being solo, honestly, it all happened so fast.
So after Fifth Harmony split up in 2018, Normani was off to a great start. She had 2 collabs that went top 10 and a solo single that went top 40. Because she had all this hype in 2019, this would have been the perfect time for her to release an album or even an EP. However, she basically went ghost from the music industry for a whole 2 years.
Where's Normani's music?
What is up with these musical artists not striking while the iron is hot?
I know that it's been such an extensive journey and process, but the wait for sure, I feel like, is definitely gonna be worth it.
She already took too long to release the album anyway.
Yes, Normani Dopamine debuted at number 91, but the charts only mean that the marketing was trash.
I have seen absolutely nothing about this album online. Where is the promo?
Oh my God, I'm so disappointed. Like, I really believe that Normani could be that girl.
Child.
Normani.
Normani, the name alone sparks excitement, promise, and if we're being honest, a little frustration. It's been years since her breakout moment as a solo artist, but somehow still feels like an artist on the edge of superstardom. From her breakout in Fifth Harmony to solo hits like Motivation, she has shown us she's got the moves, the voice, and the style, but despite all the excitement, one thing has been missing: consistency. Hello everybody, it's Nessi, and in today's video we're diving into the fascinating case of Normani, exploring the risks and challenges of releasing music in an age where momentum is everything. We'll break down how silence between singles has impacted her career, the expectations she faces, and whether she can still secure her place as one of the biggest stars in pop and R&B. So without further ado, let's dive in. Let us start way back at the beginning. Normani first captured our attention as part of Fifth Harmony, the girl group formed on the X Factor in 2012. The group's dynamic was undeniable, although sometimes kinda messy. But it was clear that Normani brought something special to the table. With an impeccable voice and commanding stage presence, she was often the standout. I know back when Fifth Harmony was a group, people used to say that Camila Cabello was the star of the group, but in my opinion, Normani has always been the focal point of Fifth Harmony. She's always been the star of the group, but I digress. With Fifth Harmony, Normani was thrust into the spotlight as part of one of the most commercially successful girl groups of the 2010s. Hits like Worth It, Work From Home, and Boss became anthems of the era, defining pop culture for the younger generation. The group quickly amassed a massive fan base, and many saw Normani as one of the breakout stars. Her powerhouse vocals and magnetic stage presence made it clear that she had the potential to go far beyond just group performances. But while Fifth Harmony's success was undeniable, many fans saw Normani as having the potential to be even bigger on her own. It was clear that she had more to offer than just being part of a group. Her voice, her look, her raw charisma showed that Normani was a solo star in the making. But the question was, when would she break out? So in 2018, after Fifth Harmony went on hiatus, Normani began her solo journey. Her first solo ventures like Love Lies with Khalid and Dancing with a Stranger with Sam Smith were massive hits, each showcasing a different side of her artistry. These weren't just collaborations, they were breakout moments. Normani had the vocal chops, the stage presence, and the versatility to be a solo superstar. Fans were excited and the industry seemed to acknowledge her potential. However, there was an underlying question looming: what would Normani do next? And then came Motivation, released in 2019. This was the moment many fans had been waiting for, a solo single from Normani that truly embraced her pop and R&B influences while offering a sleek contemporary sound. The music video wasn't just visually stunning, it was a love letter to the pop stars of the past, featuring choreography that paid homage to the likes of Beyonce, Janet Jackson, and Britney Spears. Fans went absolutely wild. This song instantly became a favorite. Its catchy hook and high energy choreography made it a summer anthem. For a while, it seemed like Normani was poised to become the next big thing in pop and R&B. The visuals, the concept, the execution, everything about Motivation screamed star power. But here's where things start to get complicated. Despite all the success surrounding Motivation, it didn't lead to a flood of new music. Fans expected that this would be the launchpad for Normani's solo career, but there was radio silence after the single's release. No album, no follow-up singles, just silence. Normani herself hinted that she was working on her debut album, but as the months turned into years, the question remained, where was the music? What was holding her back? Fans were left in limbo, unsure whether her silence was a strategic choice or something more challenging like industry politics or creative roadblocks. Since Motivation, Normani's releases have been sporadic to say the least. We got Wild Side featuring Cardi B in 2021, followed by Fair in 2022. Both tracks were solid, showcasing her talent in different ways. Wild Side was a sultry R&B banger that cemented her place in the genre, while Fair explored deeper, more introspective themes. Yet these singles were isolated moments, not a part of a larger narrative or album rollout. It's easy to forget that we've been waiting for Normani's debut album for years now. Fans have been more than patient, but the silence between singles has led to frustration. In the age of constant content and rapid consumption, consistency is key. And in the music industry where visibility is everything, long gaps between releases can cause even the most promising artists to fade from the spotlight. We live in a time where attention spans are shorter than ever, and keeping fans engaged requires more than just one hit. Normani's sporadic releases were well received, but they could not sustain the momentum necessary to keep her in the conversation consistently. And with new artists emerging all the time, the question became, would Normani's moments pass her by? Because in today's music industry, consistency is everything. After years of anticipation, Normani's debut album Dopamine was finally released on June 14, 2024. Fans had waited patiently and sometimes not so patiently for this moment. The album is a blend of various genres like pop, R&B, and even a touch of hip-hop. It's been described as an exploration of vulnerability, self-discovery, and empowerment, with Normani drawing on personal experiences to craft a record that's both introspective and bold. But with the weight of expectation comes the pressure of making it count. Now let's talk about the title. Dopamine suggests a focus on the chemical reactions that drive pleasure and joy, an idea that aligns perfectly with Normani's own journey. For fans, dopamine represents the highs and lows of her career, but also the pure joy of finding finally hearing the full vision she's had for her music all along. So basically, the name reflects the heights of anticipation, the emotional intensity of her artistry, and ideally the thrill of her eventual success. The release strategy for Dopamine wasn't without its flaws. Actually, it was terrible. The album was teased for years, with fans often left in the dark about delays and updates. By the time it dropped, some felt the hype had died down because there was literally no promo for this album, nothing to make fans excited about the release.
I have seen absolutely nothing about this album online. Where is the promo?
Normani didn't have a bad album, but the one thing I can say about the Normani album is that it was badly promoted, so nobody heard it.
Would you say for your debut album that that the promotional pieces, that everything came together exactly how you want it?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
But still, Normani and her team pushed forward with singles like 159 featuring Gunna, hoping to make a splash. The song didn't really perform well because there wasn't enough promo to build up the hype for the next single. No live performances, no visuals, not even a music video. Just give us something to hold on to. While this was a respectable position, it wasn't quite the breakout moment many had hoped for. Critics praised Normani's vocal performances and the album's sleek production, but some reviews noted a lack of cohesion and a more clear artistic identity. Fans were divided, while many celebrated the long-awaited release. Others felt the album didn't live up to the years of anticipation. The thing about long-awaited albums is that the expectations surrounding them becomes massive. The longer it takes for the artist to release, the higher the chances that they might not meet those inflated expectations. So where does this leave Normani? I think Dopamine provided her a platform to showcase her talent and expand her discography, but its reception and the long road to its release also highlighted the risk of inconsistency and mismanaged momentum. I personally really like the album. I think Normani is a very talented vocalist and performer. Dopamine represents something deeper for her. It's the culmination of years of hard work, dedication, and overcoming the challenges of a notoriously difficult industry.
Everybody's like, how do you feel? How do you feel the project's out? I'm like, I'm processing. This is 5 years in the making, so it's just like, I'm trying to make it all make sense still to me. But I'm grateful, and I do feel like lighter.
Which begs the question, can she regain the ground she's lost? Or will the silence between projects continue to overshadow her undeniable talent? Let me know what you think in the comments. The music industry plays a huge role in shaping an artist's career, and sometimes that role is less than supportive. Normani has openly discussed the challenges she has faced in trying to break free from the expectations placed on her, both as a solo artist and as a black woman in the industry. Normani isn't the first, and she certainly won't be the last artist to experience delays, lack of support, and a sense of being stuck in limbo. The industry often fails to properly back black women artists, especially those with the potential to transcend genre labels. And in many cases, artists like Normani have to fight for the opportunity to showcase their full talent. But it's clear that even with all these obstacles, Normani's drive and vision remain intact. She's determined to put out something that feels true to her, even if it means taking her time, and in the long run, her authenticity might be the thing that sets her apart, especially once the industry finally gives her the freedom she deserves. The problem with inconsistency is that the longer you're gone, the harder it is to come back. In a digital age where streams and social media engagement are the currency of success, each missed opportunity to release new music costs you. We see this happen all the time. Artists who maintain a steady stream of content, even if it's just a single or an EP, stay relevant. It's not always about releasing an album every year, but about maintaining a presence. Normani's inability to capitalize on the momentum of motivation or wild side highlights the risks of silence. I feel like Normani is a perfectionist. She wants to perfect every song before its release, but the risk here isn't just fading away, it's that the pressure to deliver something perfect after all this time could lead to second guessing and the struggle to meet fan expectations. The music industry moves very quickly. If you aren't there, someone else will be. Normani's situation is a cautionary tale because in today's fast-paced world, staying relevant means balancing artistry with visibility. Too much silence and the momentum can fade before you even have the chance to catch up. So, what's the takeaway from all of this? Normani's story is far from over, but it's clear that her career is at a crossroads. The risks of inconsistency in today's music landscape are real. The longer you wait, the more you have to prove, and the more you risk losing momentum. That doesn't mean it's too late for her. In fact, this could be the pivotal moment that sets the tone for the rest of her career. At the end of the day, the silence between singles isn't the end of Normani's career, because one thing is for sure, she's not just another artist waiting for a moment. She is Normani, she's talented, and she's got a very dedicated fan base, and with that kind of foundation, Normani has all the tools she needs to turn this silence into something more. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this one. What are your thoughts about Normani? Can she overcome the challenges of inconsistency and prove that she's here to stay? Let me know in the comments. And with that being said, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you very, very soon.